What's up guys, it's Moodis here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you what my workout split is in my diet and how I may take action on these stuff. So let's get tuned into the video. So let's first talk about what an aesthetic physique is. So basically aesthetic physique is basically having a V taper, having those wide shoulders, a small waist, a big chest, and overall having that V taper structure. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact workout split and the diet that I follow and to get you that V-taper. So me personally, I train 6 days a week with push-pull legs. And basically, this allows me to train each muscle 2 times a week and allows me to properly train those muscles. And you can also find other workout splits online. You don't need to follow mine. So you can do an Arnold split, bro split, whatever you want. But me personally, I do a 6-day workout split with each day following their own muscle group. Moving on with the sets. With the sets, I used to do 4 sets, but now I do 2 sets to failure with my maximum reps because that allows me to build proper muscle and that allows me to properly train those muscles. And that's basically pretty much it, and that's what I do. So let's move on with the actual my workout split and what are my exercises at home. So for my push day, I usually hit chest, shoulder, and tris. And what I hit for chest is we're starting with incline push-ups to target the upper chest, hands on a platform, body straight, chest at the edge, and squeeze at the top. This builds that lifted chest look and warms up your shoulders. So make sure to do that 2 to 3 sets to failure. Moving on to the dumbbell chest press. Basically, dumbbell chest press on the floor, you have to control each rep, lower slow and press strong. Keep your chest tight and elbows at a 45-degree angle. This hits the middle chest hard and squeeze that chest. Again, 2 to 3 sets to failure. And dumbbell squeeze press, this hits the inner chest, and now we're locking in for the inner chest with the dumbbell squeeze press. So press the dumbbells together and keep tension through the whole movement. You will feel that burn right down the center of your chest. Again, 2 to 3 sets to failure. Next up is shoulders. Shoulders are one of my favorite muscle groups to get that big, wide look. So first exercise, we're starting with dumbbell shoulder press. So push up and control the way down. Keep your core tight, and this builds size and strength in the front delts. Moving on to dumbbell lateral raises. Now we're gonna build that side delts with having more width. So slightly bend in the elbows, lift to shoulder height, and control it. And pause for 1 second at the top. This is what gives your shoulders that wide rounded look. One term, I hit my front delts and my side delts on my push day, and then I hit my real delts on my pull day. Next up is triceps. Overhead dumbbell extensions. Lower the dumbbell behind your head and squeeze it up. Go full range. This hits the long head of the triceps for that back arm thickness. So again, 2 to 3 sets to failure. Next up are bodyweight dips. So finishing the triceps, I'll do dips. So finishing triceps with bodyweight dips. Keep your chest slightly forward, lower deep. This one burns, but it builds that horseshoe tricep shape. So make sure to do 2 to 3 sets to failure. And basically, that's what my push day is. Moving on to my pull day. So we start off with our dumbbell bent over rows. And this basically hits the lats, the traps, the rhomboids, the real delts, and basically have your palms facing in or slightly outward, and the pull dumbbells to lower ribs, squeeze shoulder blades, lower fully for full lat stretch. And this is one tip: keep the torso stable, avoid swinging, and do that for 2 to 3 sets to failure. This helps build those lats and those traps. Moving on to one arm dumbbell row. So this mainly hits the lats, middle and outer traps, and sometimes biceps. So you basically want to have like a steady chair or any type of table, and you hold one hand to the table and you pull the dumbbell to hip, one dumbbell, and you have to twist slightly to maximize leg contraction and fully extend your arm for full stretch. Do both sides for 2 to 3 sets to failure. Moving on to the reverse fly. having the real delts focus, and this targets the real delts, the traps, and the rhomboids. So basically, slightly bend in elbows and lift the dumbbells to shoulder height, and slowly lower fully to stretch real delts, like pause it, and keep the back straight and hinge at hips. Again, 2 to 3 sets to failure. And dumbbell shrugs, this is optional, but if you want to hit it, it's completely fine. This hits mainly the upper traps, and basically you have to shrug as high as possible, holding for 1 to 2 seconds and slowly lowering to full stretch, and 2 to 3 sets to failure. So moving on to the biceps. The biceps, it contributes to the long head and to the short head and the brachialis if you want to hit it. So basically, we're gonna start off with bicep drag curls. Basically, you're gonna hold the dumbbells by sides, and you're gonna drag your elbows backward along torso slowly as you curl dumbbells toward shoulders, and squeeze the top and lower slowly. And this hits the long head and it makes the long head peak. And do that for 2 to 3 sets to failure. Moving on to concentration curls. Concentration curls, it hits the short head, basically the isolation and the peak for the short head. And basically, just sit on a stair or on like a steady bench or something that you can sit on that's a little low, and have your elbow resting on your inner thigh, and curl the dumbbell slowly toward the shoulder, squeezing the bicep at the top, and then lower fully for a full stretch. Again, do that for 2 to 3 sets to failure. And moving on to the hammer curls, when most people skip the brachialis. So this targets the outer biceps, the brachialis, and the forearms. So how to do this? So basically, have your palms face each other and dumbbells at sides, and basically curl up, squeeze, lower, and squeeze and lower slowly to full extension. So this basically is like another way of bicep curl, but then it's like at the sides. And do that for 2 to 3 sets to failure. And basically, that's my pull day. Moving on to my leg day and my abs. So basically, for my leg day and my abs, I start off with dumbbell goblet squats. Basically, this targets the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves. So how do you basically do this? So basically, you hold the dumbbell close to the chest, and you basically squat down like when you normally squat without any commit. So when you squat down until, make sure to your thighs are parallel or lower, and keep chest up and have your knees tracking over toes, and drop through until heels stand, and go as low as mobility allows. Squeeze glutes at the top, and make sure to do 2 to 3 sets to failure. And moving on to dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. This basically targets the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back. So basically, you're gonna hold the dumbbells in front of the thighs, and basically hinge at the hips and push the glutes back, lowering dumbbells to mid-shin, and keep the back flat and slightly bend in knees. So lift by extending hips fully and squeeze the glutes, and do that again for 2 to 3 sets to failure. Moving on to the Bulgarian split squats, single leg. This basically mainly targets the quads and the glutes and the hamstring, and this basically is my favorite exercise for my legs, because it mainly works my quads. So how do you basically do it? You basically like put your foot on a chair or on a bench, whatever is good. I usually put it on a bed, but whatever you think is best. And you're gonna lower your body until the front thigh is parallel to floor. So push through front heel to stand, and make sure to lower fully for max glute and quad engagement, and do that for 2 to 3 sets to failure per leg. And then moving on to the cal raises. You can do that weighted or body weight, but I usually do it with the dumbbells. So this mainly hits the gastrocnemius and the soleus, and you want to stand on a flat surface or edge of a step, and basically you're going to raise the heels as high as possible, squeezing the calf to the top, and lower fully for a full stretch, doing that 2 to 3 sets to failure. And moving on to my abs, the only 2 exercises I do is crunches and leg raises. So both hits the upper abs and the lower abs. So you basically want to lie on your back, and you want to have your knees bent and hands behind the head or crossed on chest, and you want to lift shoulders off the floor, like contracting the abs, and slowly lower the back down, and focus on squeezing abs at the top, doing 2 to 3 sets to failure. And moving on to the leg raises, this basically hits the lower abs. And you want to lie on your back and you want to have your legs straight and you want to raise the leg until it's perpendicular to floor, doing 2 to 3 sets to failure. And basically that's my workout split. I follow that 6 days a week, and that helps me build muscle. That is the most important part, because if you're training and you're not eating properly and you're not eating enough, then how are you expecting to grow? So basically I'm gonna cut down to protein, and basically protein is what builds and repairs your muscles, and without enough protein your muscles won't grow no matter how hard you train. So how much you should aim for? So a good rule of thumb for people who are trying to gain muscle like me, I'm doing a lean bulk, so I usually do about 1 gram to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So I weigh around 114 pounds, and basically I will aim to get around 130 to 140 grams of protein a day. Like, you can get protein from eggs, chicken, beef, fish, dairy, nuts, or even plant-based sources. Basically 5 to 6 meals a day, spreading it out. And you want to pair it with calories. Protein alone won't bulk you up, you need enough calories to grow as well. So for a lean bulk like mine, 135 grams per day keeps my muscles fueled and growing without adding unnecessary fat. Remember, protein is important, but training hard and eating enough calories matter just as much. Moving on to how to find your maintenance calories. So I usually go to a calorie calculator, and then when you're there, you basically want to put your information, what's your age, what's your height, and basically you put your height. So let's say my height's 5'5" and I weigh 114. And I work out 6 to 7 times a week. So I would put that, and there you go. This is how much calories I would eat a day. And that's basically it for the diet part, and it's not that hard. Let me show you how I track my calories. So basically I use the app Calorie, and this basically tracks your calories, your protein, your carbs, your fats. And this is just one of my meals that I had. It was chicken, eggs, whole foods, bananas, dates, and god damn, it's it's a lot of protein. So yeah, you gotta have a lot of protein, and make sure to finish your macros. And just don't give up. And the app Calorie, it's not even that expensive. It's like $20 a year. So yeah, whether if you want to lean bulk, if you want to cut down, or if you want to be in a body recomp, then you put in your information in Calorie, and you just tell them, and they will tell you what calories you need, protein and carbs and fats. And basically that's the video. Thank you for watching, and here are some closing thoughts that helped me push through my life and helped me push through to keep on working and to keep on striving through my goals. Alright, so we've covered a lot today. My ultimate workout split, how to hit all your muscle, your glutes efficiently, and how to pair it with a solid diet for lean muscle growth. So before we wrap up, let me leave you with some key closing thoughts. First off, consistency is everything, and you can have the perfect workout split, the cleanest diet, and all the tips in the world, but if you aren't consistent, then how are you supposed to get and change? So nothing is going to change if you don't stay consistent. So show up for yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it, because the results come to those who stick with it. And second, train smart, focus on full range of motion, proper form, and progressive overload. Whether you're doing push, pull, or leg day, make every rep count, like quality over quantity. And that's the key to building real muscle and keeps you injury free. And third, and the most important, is your diet. Your diet matters just as much as your workouts. Eating enough protein, getting your calories in, and fueling your body with nutrient-dense foods will take your gains to the next level. And fourth, your rest and your recovery. Sleep, rest days, and active recovery are all parts of the equation. Your muscles grow outside of the gym, not during the workout itself. Finally, trust the process and be patient, because progress doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. Celebrate that small wins, the extra rep you hit, the pound you gain, or the improvement in your strength. Over time, these small steps turn into massive changes. So to sum it up, follow a structured workout split, eat smart, hit your protein, rest properly, and stay consistent. That's the formula for building a lean, strong, and healthy body. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being better than you were yesterday. So if you take these tips seriously and stick to them, you'll see results. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just hard work, consistency, and smart training. Keep grinding, train, stay focused, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. That's what fitness is really about. Peace.